All right, we're on day 2. I mean, I'm technically on the same day, but doing all my recordings in one day. So we are on day 2. And day 2, in your email, in your newsletter, it is about uprooting the trauma. And I talk about that in the newsletter. Once again, if you want to sign up for that, if you haven't signed up for the 10-day journey, you can definitely sign up either on my website or you can DM me on Instagram, and I'll respond within 24 hours. So uprooting the trauma is everything. You can't heal what you don't shine light on. You cannot heal what you don't shine light on. And I know that can be scary. That can be very, very scary, to the point where you don't want to shine light on it, to the point where it's too daunting to shine light on it. It hurts too bad. And so suppressing it, you're really not suppressing it. You're not. Being able to get to the root of the trauma is a process for some. It's a process for many. And that is the process and the journey that I want to take you on with me. That I want to invite you to share with you how it is worth you getting to the root of your trauma. I'm speaking to those who are ready. I'm speaking to those who are ready. I understand personally how unpacking can be a feeling that doesn't feel good, especially because our bodies are naturally wired to not feel bad. We don't want to feel bad. We want to stay protected, especially if we weren't protected as children. And that's something that I talk about in my 12-month program, how to heal the internal weight. But that's something that some do not want to address, and I understand it. And speaking to those who are ready to uproot the trauma. So if you're ready to uproot the trauma, what ends up happening is when you uproot the trauma, get to the root of it and pull that root out, what ends up happening is that you create new soil. And what ends up producing in your life is a whole different vibration, is a whole different garden. When your roots are rooted in that trauma and you don't uproot it, you don't acknowledge it, you don't recognize your pain, you don't sit with it, you don't seek to heal from it, what ends up happening is that you just repeat the same cycle. More of the trauma that you believe, more of the trauma that you've spoken to, more of the trauma that you said yes to. And so, you've ever heard or experienced like relationships, or you have seen someone in a relationship and you wonder like, why they keep repeating the same type of relationship over and over again? Why do I keep repeating the same, my relationship with food? Or why do I keep repeating the same cycle, whatever area or triangle, part of the triangle, health, relationships, wealth, health, relationships, and wealth, and even God. It's, God is the center of everything. This is my truth. meaning that God is the source of your healing in all departments of your life, in healing you, because God reveals the truth. The Spirit reveals the truth. Your spirit, your soul reveals the truth of you, and it has the ability to heal you, has the power to heal you. But it's what oftentimes what we are energetically rooted in, what our roots are in, right? What so you might have experience of trauma from your childhood, emotional abuse, or physical abuse, or sexual abuse, or just people jacked you up in the head when you were little with their words, or just society, what society says of who you have to be, or our experiences of past trauma. That stuff can be like our anchor that we think, right? So when I say it's like our anchor, it's like it's what you are sitting on, and it's what you are sitting on. So it's like you become like a tree, and what you produce is what you're rooted in. Yeah. What and how when we're watering that, we water that when we give power to it, by still sitting in it, by not recognizing it, by not acknowledging it, and it stays as a root in us, and it produces that over and over again. This is why I say how powerful we are. Sometimes we don't recognize it because we've just been in survival mode for so long. So it's getting to that root. And when you identify the root, of the pain, where it came from, identifying the root of the pain, and knowing that you have the power to uproot that, say, I recognize it and I release it. And you may have to do that over and over again as a practice, just like brushing your teeth. It's okay. It's okay to you can release over and over and over again. I have a special like meditation tools that I include, and affirmations that I include in my 12-month program. I also include it in workshops that I do that helps you get to the subconscious mind to release those things. A lot of the things that we sometimes are rooted in, that of trauma, is something that we're like energetically rooted in, and when we're ready to give our yes and say, I'm ready to release this, God, I'm willing to release this over, or Spirit, I'm ready to just let this stuff go, then that's when the healing work starts to begin. That's when the healing work starts to happen. Our answers are revealed in dreams. I know I've had a lot of answers that I was holding on to unconsciously, that I was rooted in trauma wise, that showed up in my dreams. And I began writing it down and asking the Spirit, like, what does this mean? What does this mean? The answers will reveal themselves to me. And I was like, oh. So getting to the root of the trauma is going to truly heal you. I know that sometimes fear might have you think that, oh, we're going to just sit on this trauma, right? This is all we know. This is what keeps us. This is what guard us. But when you know, and when you're ready to say, no, I am done with this cycle. I am ready to stand in my power, and to stand in my truth, and to create a whole new garden of life, of love, of alchemy, of weight loss. I'm ready to shift. How I lost the weight was I got to the matters of my heart, and I began uplifting the heaviness and the things that I was tied to. A lot of things I didn't even know I was tied to. It was something that I had to sit with, that I had to allow to release, to uproot. And it's an everyday practice, and it's a good practice, because it's healthy, it's whole, it's good to sit with yourself, because you're worth that. You're worthy of your happiness, you're worthy of joy, you're worthy of peace, you're worthy of grace, you're worthy of your tears, you're worthy of experiencing anger if you're feeling angry. You're worthy of acknowledging those feelings so that you can be whole in your body, so that you can know what is possible for you, so that you can know what you are blocking, what's in your way, right? What is in your way? What's the stuff that's going on in here? Because all that you are producing in your life is a direct reflection of that seed, of that what you are rooted in, right? What you believe. And so if there's something in that trauma that you're still holding on to, it's time to uproot that trauma and create new soil and create new love and create revitalizing love or replenishing love and healing and joy and restoration, things of that nature. You're worthy of that. It's at your disposal. We just have to recognize what door are we blocking. And one of the ways is not uprooting that trauma so that we could create the space for what is divinely meant for us, which is healing, which is joy, which is abundance, and all that you truly desire that you may not share with other people, but that it is at your disposal for it to be manifested in your life. I'm excited for you. Let's move on to day 3.